What's good, y'all? We back for another epic Illadelph Steak Life. It's your man, Kim.
Yeah, man, Rell.
We got Gadget behind the camera. You already know what the science is. 3 Philly boys. We go any and everywhere that claim they got dope cheesesteaks. We gonna get in there, review them, so y'all ain't gotta waste your money. We're gonna break them down the same way we do hip-hop on Apartment 5B. Prayerfully, you rock with us on that. Yo, bro, we have been getting so much great feedback, man.
Yes, yes.
I don't think there's a day that goes by when someone on Twitter is not sending me a picture of a cheesesteak, like how many mics you give this, and y'all should go there and you should go there. Shout out to my man Iran. He always hit me and Gadget up in the text group, giving us new spots to go. IG is always something on there, and somebody sent me some top 3 spots in DC cheesesteaks. So here's the thing. I looked at 2 of them. They didn't look good.
Okay.
Well, really, none of them really look bananas. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to correct my wrongs. Back in 91, DJ Quick came out. I seen him. I said, this dude got a perm. I'm not listening to that shit. No disrespect to Quick. I was wrong. One of the greatest producers ever. Incredible MC. I'm from Philly. We didn't do perms in 91. Nigga, last time I seen a perm was Jermaine Stewart. We don't got to take our clothes off. So it didn't mesh with me like that. You know what I mean? So I don't want to judge a book by its cover. So we here today at Capo's Deli. Right here on Florida and 8th and DC and Shaw. We're gonna go in here, see what these joints, 7th, cool, my bad, 7th and Shaw. We're gonna go in here, see what these joints look like. Again, Quick, I love you, brother, no disrespect, but the permit 91 just wasn't there for me. Let's go, let's see what they got.
Yes, sir.
We were gonna love it and accept it. I see everybody online. I brought the album. And I'm talking about big name niggas, Set Free, you know, like real niggas, like not random niggas, like real niggas, like, yo, I brought the album, which is great. Like, I applaud that. But let's not sit here and act like somebody pulling down up on U Street is gonna be playing the flute album, and it's not even really him playing the fucking flute. This shit sound like he playing a recorder, like we used to do in 3rd fucking grade. It's not like this niggas Bobby Humphrey or Hubert Laws out here going to town on the flute.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Never. Like, dog, I don't know if the white people I work with at my job like the Rolling Stones.
Right.
So that's the thing. But the thing is why disrespect Nas?
That's what I'm saying. That's like what I'm saying. The disrespect.
Like, if you don't like him, like, yo, the music don't speak to me. Like, but again, bro, even glad that you like it. Like, the world would be whack if we all just liked and disliked the same exact thing. That's what makes it fun. I'm glad you like it.
That's what overall stand with their views.
Right.
But if you liked it, like this might have affected you in this way, or you might have heard it in this way, a different way than I.
What some of the shit is too, bro, I think some of it is niggas just, you know what I mean? You get lazy. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you need somebody to be like, nah, that shit whack, or nah, that shit ain't good, for you to really get. All right, what's good, y'all? It's your man, Illadelph Steak Life.
Rell.
All right, so we just come up from Capo's Deli over here. You know, we first get started with the weight test. See what's going on. Feels all right.
Not bad, not bad.
Not solid, but it feels all right.
Not
you know
bad.
What I mean?
Yeah.
Look all right. But yo, before we jump into this, let's talk about top 3 dope attributes of a real cheesesteak. Hit them with the bread, bro.
So the bread is important. The bread is important. I know for me, it was always Amoroso's, you know what I mean? But lately, you know, in South Philly, they do the seeded bread. I don't know. I'm kind of liking it. It was never I thought it wouldn't be my thing, but I'm kind of liking it, you know what I'm saying? But the bread is important, man. Like, you can have some people that the bread is too chewy or soggy. I don't like it toasted. So it's kind of, you got it. the bread that they use in a lot of spots in Philly is perfect. You know what I'm saying? It's enough to hold the weight of the sandwich, but it don't get too soggy. You know what I mean? So that's important for the bread. So we'll see what this one hitting on.
And the thing is, I love that you brought up South Philly. You know, we from Uptown, so I never really ran in South Philly outside South Street. My man Malik, you know, shout out Blitz Mag President on Twitter, moved out there. So I've been in South Philly probably more now than I ever have. And yo, John's Roast Pork and Angelo's with the seeded rolls.
Seeded rolls, yep.
Bro, I'll take a seeded roll over Amoroso now, which is crazy. So yo, somebody out there right now is thinking this boy's a nut. You know what I mean? Because I know I would have back in the day. I challenge you. Before you tune us out, go to John's Roast Pork or Angelo's down South Philly, get a cheesesteak, and tell me that seeded roll ain't dope. So before you do that.
It's a spot called Cosme's down there too, off of Passion, that they got the seeded roll too. And their cheesesteaks and hoagies is good. I might do a review of them when I go out there for Thanksgiving. Right. So yeah.
Number 2 is the meat. Let's get this out here. I'm not pausing I'm 49 years old, though. I'm not saying pause after F. Nah, that's not. So go ahead, kill us in the comments and all that. I'm not doing that. The meat's got to be dope. It's got to be seasoned right. I know back in the day, for me, it was always who had the most meat. I'm not pausing, so don't even do it again. So who had the most meat? You know what I mean?
Paganos.
So Paganos. But as I've gotten older, it's like, but is the meat good?
Quality,
you know what I mean? Like, who cares if the steak weighs 5 pounds if it doesn't taste good? So for me, it's like, number 2 is the meat. We used to say spillage, which is basically when you're eating a steak and, you know, when you're finished eating it, you still got meat left over. I'm not pausing again. There's still meat left over for you to eat or whatever. Spillage really to me isn't as important anymore.
Not no more, yeah.
Because if the meat is good, I don't need it. You know, you don't even want to eat the extra meat because it's not even that good. And then again, for me, I'm gonna throw an extra out there, Cheese Whiz. Now I know in the Lord's year of 2023, Cheese Whiz is the Antichrist. I don't know when this happened, bro. Bulls I used to grow up with, that I ordered cheesesteaks with, ain't never said a word when I was ordering them. Now all of a sudden, Cheese Whiz is whack. Gadget is shaking his head. I have no idea when this happened, but now Cheese Whiz is whack. But that's still number 3 to me. Let's jump into this now. Hold up, Capo's right here. I want to know what you think about this. I saw this and I had 2 things that instantly came to mind that I didn't like, but really one. They got different locations. I've never been a fan of like a chain, you know what I mean? Like chain spots. Like there's one Angelo's, there ain't no Paganos on Ogons, and then another one in Northeast, and another one in Cherry Hill. So that I kind of felt some kind of way about that, but let's dig into this and see what we hitting for with this. So another thing that I really wasn't a fan of, what kind of roll did you get, bro?
I got the Philly, the roll. They said the Philly original or something roll.
All right.
You got the seeded.
I got the seeded joint.
Yeah.
Something else I have a problem with. Have your own bread. Whatever it is that's what it is. Like, I'm not a big fan of you got 5. This ain't Subway. You shouldn't be choosing what kind of bread you want. Like, bro, make your bread and stand, like, talk your shit. Like, make your bread and stand on it.
Right, yeah.
Like, don't have 8 different kind of breads you can get. Make what you make, and people just gonna rock with it. I ain't never been a Pagano's. What kind of bread you want? Nigga, you getting the bread that you get. So let's dive in. Let's see what you hitting for. What'd you get on yours?
My usual salt, pepper, ketchup, mayonnaise, fried onions.
Yep, same thing with me. I got provolone. They ain't half whiz. So let's see what we got.
So it doesn't look too bad.
Look good. I ain't gonna hold you. Gonna look good.
Let's see what we hitting on.
I'm not mad at it, man.
Not bad.
I'm not mad at this joint. I'm not mad at this joint at all.
Seasoned
really good.
Very well. This seasoned very well.
Joint ain't bad, bro. It's good, man.
Yeah. You won't be disappointed. This is good.
I ain't gonna hold you. This ain't bad, man. It's not bad at all. Great example. I'm talking about same thing with Quick. Don't let, you know what I mean, the looks fool you, because the joint look good. Gonna keep eating, end up giving our mic rating at the end. But tell me this, bro. You saw that joint that Common Preem did?
Yes, I did. I did.
What you think about it?
It's okay. I like it. It's not bad. It's all right. It's not, when you hear those two names, there's a certain expectation.
Right.
I think it was pretty good though. Like the thing for me is hearing Common rap about something, something of some, because I was kind of off Common for a while. You know what I mean? Like, this wasn't bad. It was all right. It was all right. You know what I mean? I've seen the comments online about it, and what was said about like how slow he was rapping, all that. That's valid. But I think it was pretty good though. He had a couple lines on there I liked, and the beat was all right. It's one of those. Were there drums in that beat?
Yeah. It's off this joint. Preem drops these joints, beats that collected dust.
Okay, so this
So
was
it's
one of
basically
his.
beats that nobody picked.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That he still felt was dope or whatever like that.
Okay.
Gaz, what'd you think of it? You like
I
it?
thought it was kind of slow for Common.
Right.
But I mean, he did okay.
Right.
Not my favorite Common joint.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, let me ask y'all this. So you see all the hell Klay Thompson going through right now, right?
Yes.
Like Klay ain't hooping right now.
Yeah.
I think last night in the fourth quarter in overtime he ain't have no points. He was
Yeah, he
like
was
0 and
struggling.
8
He was struggling.
from 3. He's been struggling. Let me ask you a question. How do we know Klay has been struggling?
Basing it off of his past performances.
Past performance. It's my brother right here, y'all. The past performances.
Right.
So that's always going to be our litmus test as to how well you're playing right now.
I know where you're going. Go ahead.
So-
Okay.
We see what Klay's doing now. We go in our mental Rolodex. We think about what Klay has done in the past. We think about those championships in Golden State. And then this is how we get to this conclusion that, people are saying they should trade him.
Don't re-sign him.
He's a third option now. Like, he's not even a second option no more. And that's all based off of what you did in the past. So my man sends me the comment thing, and I said, it's a Primo beat that nobody wanted and a Converse that nobody wanted, which equals, it's all right.
It's all right.
It's all right.
Yeah.
It's not whack. It's not good. And I tell people. People are like, oh, man, what Com do to you? You hating on Com. You don't like him acting. You don't like him rapping. Dog, go listen to 1999 off the Sound Bomb in Tujo that High Tech did. Listen to that. Then come back, same way we would do with Klay, right? Go look at Klay performances in those games, all them playoff games. Then he hold like the record for scoring the most points in like,
Yeah, like
a
37 and a quarter, yeah.
Right.
Something crazy.
Go back and look at that.
Right.
Then look at what Klay is doing now. That's how we come up with now he ain't even a third option. It's the same with Com. In 199, most people don't even call that a top 5 Com song. It is for me. But most people will be like, I used to love her, Resurrection, The Corner, The Light, The Sixth Sense with Cream, all these joints. Go listen to 1999 and then play this joint with Common and Premier and tell me he's on that same level.
Not at all.
Lyrically.
Go listen to the album I listened to yesterday, One Day It All Makes Sense.
Bro,
Just go listen to that
Five
whole
Mic
album.
to me. Hungry?
Listen to his verse on the Black Star album.
Respiration? So again, that's in the thing that I think we got to get away from as a people is, I say something is all right, and it's like, damn, Kill, why you don't fuck with Common? Somebody asked me, what that nigga do to you? I said, that nigga gave me 3 subpar albums. That's what that nigga did to me. But it shouldn't even be about what he did. I said it was all right. I didn't even say it was trash. It's cool.
Yeah.
But again, go back and look at the past performances to dictate, is this dope or not?
You can't say nothing all right these days.
You know what I mean?
I means trash to these
And I get that for the young boys, but then why are the old heads falling into the same perspective of that? You know what I mean?
Because niggas act like 3.5 mics is trash.
Dog,
I'm like, dude.
You weren't on. Were you on the app when we did the Source, or you wasn't?
No,
on
I wasn't on that app.
Bro, we looked at how the Source gave the Chronic 4 mics, and nobody was mad about that. If you got 4 mics back in the '90s, you was good.
You was good.
You was like, I bet we good. You know what I mean? Now you give something 4 mics, like you said, it's trash.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we gotta. I feel like we gotta just that. Gash, what do you think? You compare that Com joint to the 1999 joint.
There's no comparison. Like,
No.
I'm not even gonna to me, that's that verse should have been Electric Circus Common. And you know I hated Electric Circus.
Me too. So, to me, that's what we have to do. We have to look at, you got to treat hip hop just like we do with sports. Like we said, you're looking at what Clay did before, and that's what you're holding him accountable for. Like, as athletes, and I think as artists, you set a bar for yourself, you know, and that's what you want to see. I tell people, you're not going to pay all the money to see Steph Curry come to DC and drop 18 and shoot 2 for 13 from 3. No, you are paying to see Steph drop 40. You're hoping he's pulling up over half court. You want to see some amazing stuff from Steph because that's where he's put the bar. Yep. And I don't know why it hasn't changed in sports, but for some reason it's changed in hip hop to where now we don't care about the bar. We'll just take whatever you give us. Right. And it's like, dog, I'm not falling for the banana in the tailpipe. I'm not just taking whatever you give me. You know, Will Smith said this once when he was working on, I think, the Lost and Found album, which was a wag album, by the way. Not even wag. It was wag. But he said, I'm gonna take a year off from acting. I'm gonna take a year off from doing everything that I do to just
I remember that.
hunker down on this album. You know what I mean? And I respected that because this is Will Smith in his heyday. You giving up $20 million a movie if you stop acting. But he felt like this is what hip hop. Let's keep it a buck. These people are only acting because they were hip hop artists. Common, if Common is just, what is his name, Lonnie Lim, Lonnie Lim? He's not getting casted in these movies. So you're only on because of hip hop. So the least you could do is, you know, respect the craft enough to say, you know what, y'all, my manager, I can't take no movies for the next 3 months. You know?
Do you think the acting had a negative effect on his music?
I believe so because I believe I do this myself because I do so many things. I will put my energy into what's making me the most money at the time. So if making beats is making me the most money at the time, then I'm not putting everything in an apartment 5D, and I'm not putting everything into my coaching and my relationship coaching and all. If coaching couples is making me the most money. So the problem is with hip hop, you know, you got to record the album, and you got to go out on a promo tour, and you got to do all of this stuff, and you may not even crack 6 figures. You go to Hollywood, shoot something for a month, you may clear 6 figures like that. And then on top of that, because he wasn't an actor, if you want to take your craft serious, now the bulk of your time is going to be in acting classes and acting coaching and all of that. So of course your pen isn't going to be as sharp.
I'm a big proponent of like your environment and mind state when you doing music. Yeah. Like, I'm gonna give you a perfect example. You remember Miguel, the singer, right?
Yeah.
Miguel's first 2 albums, crazy. Miguel got married, moved, and his music changed. And I just feel like with Common, I feel like that's what happened. Like you got to get in the right space and mindset and environment and be inspired by certain stuff to put out quality music. You know what I'm saying? Your environment is going to affect what you put out. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm laid up in the hills somewhere and I'm like, am I really motivated to really spit? You know what I'm saying?
So you saying you need to be connected to the hood?
I wouldn't say.
What?
Yes, but not saying like go move back into the hood.
Right.
But you gotta
have some sort of connection.
Be amongst the people, be amongst the regular people, be amongst, you know what I'm saying? Like,
hey, you know what? That's fine in theory, but I found out just the other day sometimes it can be detrimental. Like I'm from West Philly. You know, I'm into New Balance. Like New Balance is the most comfortable shoe to me ever. So I walk outside to do with some New Balance I ain't never seen before. Blue with the end is red and the velour. I'm like, yo, I like them shoes. This nigga ice grilled me for 5 seconds before he said thank you. And I gotta think, I'm from the era when the niggas say I like your shoes.
That was a compliment. That was love.
I want them.
Oh, right.
Okay.
Yeah, so,
Okay.
I'm so far removed from that. Like I don't.
That wasn't even in your mind.
That wasn't even in my mind.
Got you.
Right.
Right.
But I know, thinking back, back. That's the way he looked at me.
Right. I think it's like this. I don't think you need to be in the hood, but and I say this all the time. I think it's hard for MCs from the 90s to still create at such a high level, because in the 90s you had those tours. You had them spit kicker tours and the Lyricist Lounge. So if it's 98, then you on tour with Common, Black Star, Pharoah Monch, De La Soul, the freestyle ciphers, the conversations y'all are having, like all of that stuff going on. It's got to be hard to recreate that. But to me, and I said this before Nas even did the KD, or whichever one it was, when he first went on tour with Wu-Tang, and they said he was working on a new album, I said, this album might be dope. Because think of it, now you're around Wu-Tang, you're on tour with these dudes. This doesn't even have to be about the rhyming, it can just be about the camaraderie, with other hip-hop heads that you don't have anymore. To me, it's what makes 5B so dope. If it wasn't for 5B, where am I gonna talk about hip-hop with? I work with kids. They don't care nothing about Pusha T and Rakim, and so that's the thing. Sometimes you just need to be around the camaraderie, because you heard Common and Peter making an album. So people was like, Kill, what you think about that? I said, yo, I'll get excited if Common goes to Mount Vernon for a month and they make that album together. Then I'll get excited. But if it's just Pete sending beats and Com writing rhymes in between sets, they like, all right, cut. All right, let me go, come over here. Let me get out my phone. Let me write some. Nah, nigga, I need you in Mount Vernon, chilling. It's the same thing. When niggas come down from Philly, I'll send people beats. But then I tell them, yo, come down for the weekend. Get a telly. We'll just record. Come down on a Friday. We record all day Friday. Get a grub. Come back and record. We record all day Saturday. Just so that we can get some vibes going. And from that, different things happen. One day, my man Sight was down. He was like, damn, I need a singer. Tanya was in another room. I'm like, T, come through. Can you sing on this? She got on that joint. That can't happen if we just sending beats back and forth. So I feel like if you really, Common, Pete, if y'all watching, if you really want to make some dope shit, y'all got to get together. Yeah. Y'all got to get together. Take that flight, get the hotel in New York. Yo, even if you guys be like, yo, I'm going to just come every weekend, every other weekend for a month, or every other weekend over 6 months, like, and let's build like that. That's cool. I mean, I think that's the thing, that you've got to be in the element to make dope music. You know what I mean? So to me, any MC who's ready to work on an album should be like, if I'm Common, yo, Thought, what you doing this weekend, bro? Yo, I'm gonna swing through New York and just kick it. Like, yo, like, let's just kick it. You know what I mean? Like we used to, or like, yo. So I think like that's the thing that you gotta get to a point where it's like, you gotta get in your right element. You know what I mean? I'm sure we all have it as creatives. You know what I mean? I know when it's time for me to make a beat, I don't want nobody bothering me. I need a certain mind frame to be able to create. So I can't, I have a whole studio at my job. I've never made a beat there once. Right. Because that's not my environment to be able to make beats. People gonna be coming in, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I need my own. Every time I moved, I'm always stressed about the new studio. Like, is this room gonna have the right vibes? Like, right. I gotta make sure that the room reminds me of my crib back in Philly. Like, right. Because that's where I make my best stuff. So, I mean, I'm hoping this Common Pete album be dope. But again, I just think like, you gotta be able to tell Com, like, nah, that ain't it.
So they really about to do this?
Yeah, they make an album. They make an album. You know what I mean? Like, even with the Preem joint, somebody both should have said something. Common should have said, bro, send me something better than this.
Right.
And Preem should have been like, yo, nigga, you gotta spit something doper than this. Like, we gotta challenge each other. And I feel like now we just at that place where it's like, you send the beat, okay, cool, I like it. You send the verse back, okay, cool, I like it. Like, nah, nigga.
I ain't like the tempo for Common.
Yeah, and it was slow as hell.
That tempo, that tempo. I would have been like, yo, give me something a little more faster. I could see somebody else spitting over that beat, but for Com, who has like a kind of a monotone voice anyway, and then you got rapping so slow, it can get boring. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
But I'm hoping, I'm a Com fan, but I'm gonna be real when it's some stuff that I don't like, and it's been a lot. Like, I was one of the few people that liked songs off of the, what was it, Beautiful Revolution or something like that? Who had a part 1 and a part 2.
I think so.
Part 1 has some alright songs on there, you know what I mean? But if I'm looking at like Water for Chocolate, One Day It All Makes Sense, B, even Finding Forever.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
this is not what
Yeah.
this is not the
Even
same.
with the joint, what was the joint called? Nobody Smiling.
Nobody Smiling.
The thing that had me so hype about that album was it was like, yo, it's gonna be about Chicago. They gonna, him and No ID back together.
Yeah.
The first single, Kingdom, was dope.
Yeah.
But when they told me that, I was like, yo, to really make that album, you gonna have, No ID can't be president of Def Jam. You can't be doing no movies. Y'all need to go rent an Airbnb in Chicago for a month.
And lock in.
you need to live.
Yeah.
You may not even need to make beats. You may not even need to do no music that much. But I'm talking about going to city council meetings, going to some of these youngins' funerals, going to some of these things so that you can really, dog, how me and you gonna make an album about violence in Philly and neither one of us live in Philly, lived in Philly for 20 years?
Yeah, right.
We'd have to go to Philly and be like, yo, we gotta take this in. We gotta go to these young boys' funerals. We gotta talk to these mothers and feel their pain. And then that is gonna be what comes out in your lyrics, in my beats.
Yep.
But you can't make no album about Chicago and No ID and fucking New York and Chicago and LA. How? I mean, and Common LA, how? That don't even make sense.
Common and Pete Rock, okay.
Yep.
I'll be listening. Is what's the name still doing the album with Q-Tip?
Who?
Hello?
Yeah, I think I heard the first single. I mean, I think it's
the
done.
first single was all right.
Yeah. I think it's done. Here's the biggest thing, bro. And I want people to understand this. This is never a disrespect to the legends.
Right.
And again, I don't know why we do this. We don't do this in sports, but we do this in hip hop. If I say I wasn't feeling that Preem beat, it's like, yo, but that's Premier. That's the greatest producer ever.
Right.
I agree. He's my fucking 1A to 1B to Dilla for me.
Right.
But I'm not feeling it. Like that's not it.
Right.
You telling me you play Mass Appeal and then you play that, like stop. Like it's not there. You know what I mean? But that shouldn't be disrespect. It's just duly noted. Now can Preem make some shit? I'm sure he can.
Yeah.
Like Pete to me is one of the few producers from the 90s that still be fucking my head up.
Right.
Like he got an album with Flea Lord. You heard that shit, Gadget? Yo, the beats on that shit, bruh, like crazy. Even the joint he did with Retropolitan with Sky Zoo.
Oh, that was good.
He got some bangers on there.
Good.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, so again, I just feel like it's okay to be like Clay ain't hooping right now. You know what I mean? And at least the thing with Clay, we could say, well, he done came back from 2 of them surgeries and you know, he may not be the same, but the thing about hip hop is, it's in your mind.
Yep.
It's not physical.
Yep.
Think if sports wasn't physical and it was all mental, Jordan would still fucking be playing with his competitive ass.
And it'll be a lot of players that are just naturally gifted that wouldn't be doing shit if it was all mental, you know what I mean?
Right.
So,
which brings us to Andre 3000. You know what I mean? The infamous Flute album. Now, just for the record, I had no problem with Andre making a Flute album. I was making fun of niggas who didn't know what a flute was before Andre 3000 picked one up, now all of a sudden being excited for a Flute album. Because here's the thing, and Dre said, if you're not inspired, I don't want you to rhyme. As much as a Andre 3000 fan that I am, as much as I would want an Andre 3000 hip hop album, if you're not inspired to do that, don't do it. I would rather never get that than to get 5 subpar Andre albums, because I feel like that's what we got with Common.
Right.
And Common used to be in my top 10 GOAT list, like greatest of all time. That nigga has slid the fuck right on off of that.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, I don't want that for 3000. So I'm like, I'd rather you just, yo, nigga, go act. You know what I mean? You know, drop a song every now and then if you got the urge, but.
It's like, let's give up on the dream, man. I'm sorry. Let's give up on the, we not getting it, bro. Like.
No, we're not. We're never gonna get it. I've given up. But the Flute album. Now, number one, I couldn't understand people's excitement for a Flute album. Y'all niggas know me, I'm on Twitter every goddamn day. I've never heard in 14 years one person ever bring up a flute. Ever.
But as a producer, you didn't think, yo, it might be some shit on here that I can chop up?
No.
Really?
Because, do we know if he can fucking play the flute?
It don't matter.
No, it does, bro. That's like saying.
Have you ever sampled Sun Ra? Sun Ra got some of the
Nah,
most
I haven't. I haven't sampled Sun Ra, but I can say this. If we don't know if he can play the flute, now keeping in mind, now it's different because my mom's a jazz musician. So I've grown up, her number 2 instrument is the flute.
Okay.
So There's no way that fucking album is good from a flutist standpoint. If I send that shit to my mother is not gonna fucking be like, this shit is fucking amazing.
You know how you turn your paper in and they red mark it
right.
Up? Your mom's gonna tear that.
Here's the thing, great example. Nay's doing her college essays. She's getting her college, her counselor and teachers to review them. Cause she's giving them to me and T, and we like, I mean, I can review it, but I don't know what they looking for like that.
Right,
so again, to the person who ain't never, one boy on Twitter was like, look, no disrespect to Mr. Humphrey, but I'm just waiting for this 3,000. I'm like,
Bobby
nigga,
Humphrey's
did you just disrespect?
Mr. Humphrey?
Yeah.
Called the nigga Mr. Humphrey. I said Bobby Humphrey, one of the greatest jazz flutists ever, is a female.
Yeah.
And so niggas is roasting, I don't care, I just want 3,000. Dog, this is what I'm saying. So, again, I think I listened to the album, it reminded me of the YouTube meditation videos that my wife listens to when she goes to bed every night. Somebody said this is just like the Calm app, you know what I mean?
Right.
Nate told me the other day, yo, she listened to it, she was like, yo, I love it because I like to meditate. This is gonna be what I meditate to, which is beautiful. It's beautiful, but that's what it is.
Right.
Let's not sit here and act like this is a jazz album. Let's not sit and act like this is some shit niggas is gonna be banging in they whips on the weekend.
I wish, go ahead.
You know what I mean? If you wanna calm down and you wanna meditate, if you wanna play this in the doctor's office to get your mind right, that's beautiful. But what I wanna talk about is, why do we make excuses for our favorite rappers? Because this is an excuse album, because bro, if me and you make this album, no one is gonna call it beautiful. I've seen so many words that me and you would not get if this was our album.
We would get flamed.
We would get flamed. So why do you think people make excuses for their favorite rappers? When they do, I'm not saying whack shit, but this is not what niggas wanted from Andre 3000. We can agree on that.
What you think?
I just think it's cool for him to do something that he wanted to do, like artistically.
Right.
Like, even though I hate Electric Circus, for the artistry, okay. Like, that's what you was into at that time. It wasn't for me. This Flu album ain't for the hip hop heads.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
But I agree with that. Like, it's for somebody, like, and I say it all the time. It just didn't speak to me. It just didn't speak to me. And I'm glad, like you said, Gatch, I'm glad artists want to be artists, but here's the thing, and I tell people this all the time. I can't play no instruments. I sample. I'm a sample-based producer.
Right.
If I pop up tomorrow like, yo, Gadge, I ain't sampling no more, nigga. I'm playing the keyboards. I'm playing all piano. That don't mean the shit gonna be dope.
Right.
That don't mean that y'all gotta like it just because I decided
Right.
I want to go follow my journey and I've always wanted to be fucking Lonnie Liston Smith and be a piano player. And I can't play the fucking piano.
Yeah.
And again, by my mom being a jazz musician, I define playing as something different. Like, I define if you can play an instrument, we in church, the organist fucking catch the Holy Spirit and can't play no more, you can get up there and go in. Because people be like, oh, I played the keyboards on that track. After 28 outtakes of you trying to get the shit right, I'm not talking about playing like that. I'm talking about you can get on stage and you can play. Now you can play after we done had to cut and paste it together and all that, not that. So again, it's cool, but my biggest thing is that if this wasn't 3000, I don't believe anybody is saying anything positive.
We wouldn't hear about it. It's some people that I like, because I'm all for like expanding your musical palette into different genres and stuff like that. But there's some people that I know for a fact have never listened to a jazz album, a flute album, anything, and they are like hyping the joint like it was a masterpiece. I'm like, bro, you don't even know what you listening to, dog. Like,
I like Madlib, but I didn't like that Shades of Blue shit that he did for.
Right.
I mean, because that part of jazz is the jazz like that I never listened to. Like, I walk past the jazz section in the record store.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I'm like, I mean,
I
if
can
that's
appreciate it though.
right, if that's what he want to do, fine. That don't mean it's for me. You
Right.
know, and I like.
And just because
Andre.
that's what he wants to do doesn't mean it's good.
Dope. Like
I said, Rell, if you decide, you're the biggest Nas fan. Nas, LL, and Cuba. People don't know, don't never say nothing bad about them three niggas.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
But if you found out that LL Cool J was coming out with a fucking bongo album, of LL, no bars, I'm just playing the fucking bongos. Are you excited for that?
No, I'm disappointed.
Hold on. Curious or excited?
Excited. Okay. We can talk about curious. Okay. We can talk about curious.
I will be curious, like, what? But I would not be excited. And then I'm going to get clowned. Like,
and here's the thing, too, because I feel like there are two different words. People will say, I'll listen to it.
Right.
But that's not how we grew up. We grew up hyped for something. When you found out, you know, after KD1 and you found out KD2 was coming out, you weren't intrigued or curious. You were hyped. Like, yo, they back together again.
Are you going to, as a kid, are you going from where we at up Broad Nolly to go buy the Flute album?
Fuck no.
That's
Am I putting my life on the line to catch the fucking 6, the Broad Nolly, where I could get robbed to get jumped to buy a fucking Flute album? Fuck no, I'm not doing that shit.
That's the difference of today and how we came up.
Yeah, now you ain't risking your life.
Spend my last on
to go get a Flute fucking album.
No, sir.
That nobody's gonna play again. And you're only playing it to meditate, which means you're gonna fucking really not even be there mentally and fall fucking asleep.
Fall
like,
asleep.
This is music to put babies to bed to. Like,
right.
How is that a compliment? Rell, if somebody said, yo, You and Kill's new album is beautiful, we love it, I put my baby to sleep to it every night. Nigga.
No, that's a compliment to whatever art you're doing. Like, you're not gonna say that to MOP, but you can say that to a nigga doing it.
Yo.
Right, that's good, but for right, you're right. For what we're making, if you tell me your album puts my baby to sleep every night, I'm be like, God damn, like as a hip hop producer, you're right. That's a right. Like I'm hurt. Like what the fuck did we do wrong? That babies are going to sleep to our music. Like
yo, I thought like when I first saw the titles and all, I thought it was a joke. I thought like somebody was trying to be funny.
Bro.
It was dead serious. I was like, wow, he really putting out a Flute album.
When I saw the titles, I even said, is this real?
Yeah, that shit like a parody. But it was real.
But here's the wild part. People were telling me, yo, those titles are dope. I'm like, nigga, stop.
They're unique, they're not dope.
Why y'all doing, here's the thing that I've realized. Philly boys, we're raised different. And I see that, I saw that when we went to Morgan. I saw that, I see it every day on Twitter. We're raised different.
Right.
For me, I don't make excuses for people. I try to judge on a blank slate.
Yeah.
So if somebody was saying like they like this house, I said, if Come Clean was called Water Drops from God's Heavenly Robe upon us from Brooklyn and D&D, we'd be like, yo, that's a whack ass title.
That title was crazy.
Song crazy.
Right.
But Water Drops from God's Robe from Heavenly Sweat from D&D Studios, we'd be like, yo, what? So again, ain't nobody naming they shit like that. And why are y'all out here now all of a sudden being like, oh, that's dope? Or one person was like, oh, but this title is good or something like Ants or something. I'm like, yo, stop. Y'all are only doing this because it's 3,000.
If he'd have gave me the Love Below, the album like the Love Below, I'd have been cool. Like,
but here's the thing. My only thing is, and again, everybody watching this has nothing to do with 3,000. It never did. It has to do with the consumer.
What?
That I'm challenging people to say, when you hear something, listen with open ears. Like, I would have loved for this to have not come out. None of this information came out. We do a listening session, and I play this album, and then we get the reviews.
Right.
You don't know who it is. You don't know what it is. That I don't believe in my heart. I bet every pair of Jordans and every pair of Low that I own.
Niggas would have made you cut it off.
Thank you.
If they didn't know who it was.
Thank you. That's my point.
They were like, Kill, come on,
That's my point.
Yeah.
And that's how we should judge music, not by whose name is behind it or whose name is in front of it. Because if I would have played that, by the time we got to the third song, niggas would have been like you said, Kill, cut that shit off.
Yep.
And that's the fucked up part. Philly boys out there who heard Omaroso, yo, before you cut us out, just keep in mind, I challenge you, go to South Philly, go to John's Road Sport, go to Angelo's, try to see the road, because trust me, I feel you. If I was from Philly and I hadn't tried it and somebody said something is better than Omaroso's, I'm cutting the show off, these some nut-ass boys. Not dead ass, like I would have been that way. But I challenge you to go check them out first. Number 2 is the meat. We're not pausing again, we're not doing that. The meat. Back in the day, I know for me, it was always about what steak had the most meat. You know, when I would bring boys back from college, the Philly would be like, go to Pagano's, to Pagano's.
Yeah.
The meat is falling over. My man Rollo, God bless the dead, I brought him for the first time. He got the steak, he cut it in half and gave me half. He was like, here's yours. I'm like, nah, nigga, that's all yours. You know what I mean? He was bugging, because you know down there in Baltimore, they be doing the half and the holes and everything. We don't do that in Philly. So the meat, but as I've gotten older, I want the meat to be seasoned. I want the meat to be good. So, you know, the amount of meat isn't as important anymore as long as it's good, which then affects the spillage, which used to be one of our top 3 things, which, you know, last time I've been to Angelo's, John's, and Cafe Carmela's, which are my top 3 spots, well, Mama's too, there is no spillage.
Right.
But the meat is just so good. And then the asterisk for me is Cheese Whiz. I know nobody wants to act like they like Cheese Whiz, and I'm the only nigga in Philly who likes Cheese Whiz. I must be a thorough ass boy then. If every spot in Philly got Cheese Whiz, you know what I mean? Because boys will be like, that's a tourist shit. Well, then why the fuck Max got it? Ain't no tourist. Well, tourists are because of Creed, but Delisant. Damn. Now I'm thinking.
Did our spots turn into tourist spots?
Yeah, Delisantros, bro. That's why it slipped
You
down.
gotta be careful being a tourist going to Max's, though.
Yeah, but you know, but it's because I never sent nobody to Max's because it's in the middle of North Philly. It's the hood, and I'm not trying to get nobody robbed. Because you will fucking get robbed. But because of Creed.
Right.
When it was in Creed, then everything just started popping up. I went to Max's one night, like on a random Thursday at like midnight, and it was packed. You know what I mean? So those are 3 attributes. We talking about the bread, we talking about the meat. We really don't need the spillage anymore, and Wiz is just the added extra for us. And it gotta be good with the weight.
Yeah.
You gotta be able to, when you walk out with your sandwich, you gotta be able to feel it. You gotta be able to, it's weird, I can't explain it. It's just when I feel it, I know that it's a good weight. You know what I mean? Like this is gonna be good. So that's our joint. But yo, what we giving Capo Deli? What you giving it, bro?
This was good. I'm gonna give it a 3.5, Mike, maybe a 4 on a good day.
All right.
I was impressed. I wasn't impressed at first until we popped it over and ate it. It was good. It was good. The meat was seasoned well. My toppings, they put the ketchup on there for me. That's important. Don't hand me no ketchup packets. I don't want no ketchup packets. I want you to put the ketchup on the cheesesteak. You know what I'm saying?
Do your job.
Yeah. If I ask for salt, pepper, ketchup, mayonnaise, fried onions, I want that on the sandwich. I don't want to have to add this shit myself. You know what I'm saying? But they did a good job. Customer service was good. So I give them a 3.5, 4.
Yeah, I ain't mad at it. I give it a 3.5 too. Steak was good. The bread was good. Like you said, there's no packets. Do your job. I don't do the self-checkout at Target. Like, nah, nigga, do your job. Like, I can't hear y'all ring that shit up and put it in the bag. So yeah, it was dope. So definitely, we right there, Capo Deli. What is this, 7th and Florida Ave? If you're in DC, Northwest, come down, check them out. Yeah. You know what I mean? 3.5 ain't bad. If I'm ever in this section of DC and I want a cheesesteak, it would definitely be Capo's.
You won't be disappointed.
We gotta check out their speakeasy out in the back too, bro.
Yeah.
See what that's in for.
Definitely.
Another dope Illadelph steak life. Where can they get at you, bro?
Uptown Rell 215 on the gram, JBen215 on Twitter. My album's still out.
Yes, sir.
Caught in the Moment, executive produced by Kill. It's on all your Apple Music, Spotify, all that. And it's on my Bandcamp, Jarrell215.bandcamp.com. Check it out. And I'm back in the lab too, so.
Yes, sir. That Rell Trash Band, man.
It's coming.
About to happen. You already know this with me. Kill 889 Twitter, IG, Apartment 5B. New episodes every Monday. Chopping up about hip hop, R&B, everything. Shout out to the crew out there. And yeah, follow me on Twitter, man. People say I start shit. I just talk how I feel and answer questions. And then shout out to my man Gadget. Now he ain't in front of the camera no more, but we can't do this without him. Definitely. Big shout out to Gadget and everything he got going on, y'all.
Yes, sir.
All right, dope show as always, bro.
Man.
Oh, man.